Hello students, how are you today? Today we have the last part, or the last lesson that we have in the intro part. Now our previous lesson was conversation, and within the conversation we did a lot of deduction using modules as we had. Now I have something ready for you. We have something called all-in-one. All-in-one, which means that we have here just one text, we have one story, we have one theme, and we apply what we took in just one topic or one theme. So we have here, there's a story. Now she looks very surprised. Let's see why. Before we start, a tip for you, connect with something related to you. So this is the idea of all-in-one, to connect and to relate and put your lesson within a text so you can remember later what did you take, and you can also try to apply it in a way that you cannot forget. Now while listening, put in mind the tone while speaking and stress of words. We're going to start with our title, which is What a Day. I won an international contest at school and got a new computer as a gift and was excited to start it. But my friends invited me to celebrate my win, so I had to go first. When I went there to meet them after school, I was 15 minutes late and they didn't seem to be anywhere around. They must have left, I said to myself. But that can't be true. They must be playing. We have here, they must be playing some kind of prank. Their phones were off and I went back home angry. When I tried to open the computer, it didn't work. It must be broken, my sister said. So we went to look for my father for help. We couldn't find him too. His car was in the garage, so he can't have left the house. He must be somewhere, I told my sister, and we went back to the garden where we found my cousin's bicycle, but she wasn't around. That's strange. Where did she go? My sister said. She must be looking around for us in another place, I replied, when I realized something strange. Everybody is disappearing, I told her, confused. Sarah, my best friend, didn't show up at school either. She must have overslept, I said to the teacher, but I was worried because she didn't text me. This can't be normal. There's something going on. I was telling my sister about everything and was walking with her to the outdoor guest room. My sister opened the door and suddenly a lot of balloons flew out and all my family and friends were shouting, "We are proud of you." Everyone was there. They planned a surprise party that must have taken a lot of time. Everything was beautiful and perfect. So you can see that we have here this short story. We used all the examples, or I applied the examples that we took in the last lesson, and also I applied the expressions or the phrases that we used as deduction phrases, of course using the modals. Now this is a way that you can use so you can take advantage of the lesson and you can just put it in a kind of structure that will make it easy for you to remember. Let's see what we have after that. Now this is a story for this girl here. Let's see. Incidents happen every day. We always tell stories about things that have happened to us. Now, like the story that we just had, and suppose that the girl was saying the story, a lot of incidents come or happen to us every day, and a lot of situations we find ourselves in. Now, like this girl here. What is she doing? What can you see the girl doing? So we can see that she is at an ATM and she is withdrawing some money. Have you ever been in a situation concerning ATMs? Now, a lot of funny stories have happened there. Sometimes you forget to withdraw the money. Sometimes you forget to take the money. Sometimes you forget your card. Now, a lot of stories have happened actually at any kind of ATM. And some of them may be dangerous and people have to be careful, but other stories are actually very funny. So we are going to discuss a story that we have here in the book. You are going to listen and compare the written text with the spoken account of an incident. Tick the features that you identify in each or both. Now you can see that we have here the objectives. We are going to compare between written and spoken texts. We have here identify features for different types of texts. Maximize opportunities for language practice. And we have on page number 5 the table that I showed you the last lesson. Now in this table we have here a lot of parts that we are going to see, and we're going to compare between spoken text and we have here written text. So let's just go and see what we have here in the part or the table. We have here pauses and fillers. So sometimes when we are talking, we pause. You are going to compare between written and spoken. False starts and restarts. So no one's perfect. We can't say that you should always start correctly. Sometimes there is a kind of false start, and then you have to just go back and restart, or just to read the sentence again. Like when I was reading the story, sometimes you just read and then you discover that the sentence has another tone, so you go back and restart. So this is normal. Complete sentences. So should you say a complete sentence? What do you think about it? And the opposite also, incomplete sentences. We have here reordering, to reorder a sentence or to reorder a phrase. We can also reorder words sometimes, which we have here rewording. Self-correction, which means that sometimes when we are reading, you can make a mistake while pronouncing a word and then just go back and self-correct you. Also, this is something very normal. Connectors, using connectors in while speaking or in the text. We have here punctuation also, which full stops, commas, apostrophes, and so on. And we have here the intonation part, which is the tone or the stress while you are talking. So we are going to compare between the spoken and the written text. Sometimes it is very obvious and you're going just to tick immediately and know. And other parts you have to just consider it after you compare. We're going to see here. First of all, we have spoken text. Now I want to do something with you. Before you compare, let's do it twice and compare. So we are going to compare between the spoken and the written. But before, you will listen to the script twice, listening, which means spoken, 2 times. Compare between the 2 times you listen. So what's the difference? One time you are going to listen to this text, which is recorded, and the second time I'm going to read it for you. So still, we are not comparing the table, the written and the spoken. We are still focusing on the spoken. So let's see what we have here. Before listening, are any of these words familiar? You have this word, delight. Do you know it? We have also withdrawal, which is something connected to ATMs. Securely, from the word security. No avail. Rush back. Confirmation. Request. Upset. Embarrassed. Report. Incident. Fortunately. Security feature. Foolish. Yes. So these words, just put in mind that you are going to see them. Actually, we're going to repeat them 3 times. So some of them may be familiar, and some other time you just have to read it within the text to understand it. So concentrate. We're going to start first of all with the recorded. Yes, are you ready?
Has it happened to you or someone you know? About a week ago I went to check my bank account for the umpteenth time, hoping that I'd find some cash. I placed my card in the machine, keyed in my password, and to my great delight, there was the money in my account. So I pressed withdrawal, took my card out of the machine, as I was supposed to, and happily walked away. I must have taken about 10 steps or so, when I thought of checking to make sure that I'd put the money away securely. I searched my small bag and my pockets to no avail. I immediately turned and rushed back to the ATM. As I had feared, there was no cash in the slot. I then checked my account to only get a confirmation that the amount I had requested had in fact been withdrawn. I was really upset and embarrassed. I called the bank and reported the incident. They promised to check the following day. Fortunately, the machine had a security feature which pulled back cash that was not collected within 15 or 20 seconds. I was feeling really foolish to have done such a thing, but then I was told that it happens all the time. Would you believe it?
Now you listen to it first. Now I'm going to just repeat it and read it again by myself. Has it happened to you or someone you know? About a week ago, I went to check my bank account for the umpteenth time, hoping that I'd find some cash. I placed my card in the machine, keyed in my password, and to my great delight, there was the money in my account. So I pressed withdrawal, took my card out of the machine, as I was supposed to, and suddenly walked away. I must have taken about 10 steps or so when I thought of checking to make sure that I'd put the money away securely. I searched my small bag and my pockets to no avail. I immediately turned and rushed back to the ATM. As I had feared, there was no cash in the slot. I then checked my account to only get a confirmation that the amount I had requested had in fact been withdrawn. I was really upset and embarrassed. I called the bank and reported the incident. They promised to check the following day. Fortunately, the machine had a security feature which pulled back cash that was not collected within 15 or 20 seconds. I was feeling really foolish to have done such a thing, but then I was told that it happens all the time. Would you believe it? So, here, why did I repeat it? Now, the first time you can see that it was a kind of robotic recording, and you can see that there was no pauses. The robotic reading here, or the speaking, was just going on and on until it finished. There was no kind of intonation, there was no kind of tone here. Now, which means that there is something missing. It's not like the human reading here. Now you can see that, okay, we have here a little bit of a tone. There is something that I didn't read very clearly, and I just read it back. So we have some errors that can happen when you are reading or speaking, which is completely normal, and it is okay. So you can just go back and correct yourself. Now, this is the difference between here the robotic, or we can say the recorded kind of text, and the spoken, the regular human text. This is the first part. Now, the second part, you can notice the words that I first displayed for you, and what are the meanings of the words that we have here within the text. Now, you can find the text, which is actually in your book, page number 5, so it would be easy just to go back and read it and try to apply it by yourself and try to tell the story by yourself. So we have here, this is the first part, which is the spoken text. Let's see what we have after that. Of course, we discussed what did you notice between the two scripts. And we have here our table. Now, pauses and fillers. Did I pause when I was speaking? Did you listen to pauses? Yes. Now, you can also compare my reading or my speaking when I was starting the first text, the first story I told you, or even when I'm just talking to you. We have here false starts and restarts. Did I sometimes go back and restart something? Yes, it happened in the two stories. Complete sentences. Can I say a complete sentence? Yes. Can I say an incomplete sentence? Yes. To reorder or to reword, to put something before another, both of them, they apply, yes. Self-correction. Did I just correct myself? Sometimes yes. Connectors. Now, do I say when I'm reading, when I end a sentence, do I say period or full stop? And then when I pause, do I say a comma? No. So this doesn't happen. You can just listen to it, or you can just read it. But actually, we do not say them. We have here, we use them, but they are not set. Punctuation, we have here, yes, sorry, we have here, this is actually punctuation. And before we have connectors, which are like using and, but, and, or, and so, yes, these are applied. And the last one we have here, intonation. Of course, we have here the tone in speech. Now, this is going to be the first part, which is the spoken. Now, the second part we have here, which is the written text. This is your turn now. Now, you are going to read. I'm going to give you a chance, and then we're going to compare. So let's start. Starting from the timer. You have 30 seconds. Second slide. We have now the third part. And we come to the last part. We are about to finish. And we're done. Okay, now going back to the table that we have here. We said that we're going to compare between the spoken and the written. Now let's start with the first one, pauses and fillers. When you are writing, do you pause? This is something that is not applied. False starts and restarts. Do you just go back and on, a restart and false start? No, because you have a chance to correct your sentence, and then that's it. Okay, so we have here, your sentence is ready. The same is applied for complete sentences. You can write complete sentences. Can you just write incomplete sentences and leave it? No, of course not. We have here, we have to just complete them, and then we determine them. We have also reordering. You have a chance to reorder, to reword, but after that, you have to make your sentences stable and done. You also have to, do you have self-correction? Is there a chance to self-correct yourself? What do you think about it? And how about connectors? Do you use connectors while writing? Punctuation. Do you write punctuation parts, the comma, the full stop, and so on? And we have here intonation. Do you use also intonation while writing or not? So actually, as much as we applied here, when we finalize our thoughts about what we have for written text, you can find that we have here complete sentences. Yes, they do apply, as we said. And we have here connectors. Yes, they are used. And also we can say that punctuation are also used. So the rest is all just for spoken text. Written text is totally different. So this is our comparison between spoken and written text. Now it's your turn. Work in pairs. Think about an incident you heard or read about, or something that happened to you or someone you know. Make notes. So as we did, you passed by 2 stories with me. So it's your turn to do the same thing. You can do it as pairs and work together. It might help you, or it might help to write the actions or the verbs in the order they happened, and then add people, objects, and places. So if you noticed, when I displayed the words for you that were applied within the story of the book, I brought the words to you based on the order that they appear in the story. Lastly, don't forget to also convey the manner in which things happened. Use your voice, exclamations, adjectives, and adverbs. So you can apply a lot of things, and you can just put in mind that you can apply it spoken matter, or you can have it as a written. Now, there is a kind of table here you can use just to arrange your thoughts. We have here the event or the time, people, actions, nouns, we can say adjectives, places, feelings, and condition. Now, just to give you an example here, we have here the words that passed by us, as we said. You can see that they are arranged here. We can say that the event or the time, it was a week ago. The people, I'm talking about myself, me. The actions, what happened, an incident happened, withdrawal, rush back, request, and report. Of course, these are based on the parts that happened. We have nouns or objects. We have here confirmation, and we have here security feature. Places, there is no place mentioned. We can see feelings. There was the feeling of delight, upset, embarrassed, and foolish. Condition, we can say that we have here something was securely done, and we have here fortunately. And here we can say that there is an expression, which means no avail, which is connected to something that is available or not. We have here no avail is a phrase that is used. So that's why we have it in a different part. Now you can do the same here. You can also just apply. This would make it very easy for you. So you just actually have to use your notes and tell your partner or your class about your incident. Just try to write words. So we have here, if we try to do it together, you can see that I wrote some words here. Just try to have small words, some small parts, write your words, and then you can just put them in order as you have here. So don't think about the table first. Think about the words that you can use within your story, and what are the actions, what are the events. And then after that, the table can help you just to arrange your thoughts and arrange what are the ideas that you have. You can arrange also, rearrange actually. You can use adjectives in a place, you can use an adverb, you can use nouns. So it is a way just to arrange the way that you are going to write your text, and after that, tell it to your classmates. Now, you can see that last week we had our revision. And this week we have finished the intro part that we have here in the book, which means that soon, inshallah, we are going to start Unit 1. And we have homework now. You have the story, you have the words that we said that you're going to arrange in the table. So this is your assignment. And I'm sure that you would come up with something very original, creative, and it will be enjoyable, inshallah, at the same time. So at the end of our lesson, we have a complete scanning for the intro that we had. First of all, in the listen and discuss part, if you can remember, we listened to 4 paragraphs, which are actually topics from the book. And then after that, we had pair work. Now, we did in 2 lessons the pair work, and we used expression of opinion, agreement, point of view. After that, in the last lesson, we had conversation, which is expressing with deduction phrases using modals. And today in our lesson, which is speaking, we had comparing between spoken and written texts. So we have here, this is the part we had and covered up this week. Inshallah, in the next lesson, we will start the first lesson, which is Unit 1. So be ready.